I'm Lori Parks Hickman. I've been at Calvary since 1964, when I was very, very young. My dad knew at a very young age that he wanted to be a doctor. He met my mom fresh out of the Marines. They got married their senior year of college. My dad continued through medical school. One of the doctors that was in this little town called Thousand Oaks with less than 10,000 people, no traffic signals, asked my dad to come be a doctor here. The original hospital was on the corner of Herbs and Hillcrest. It became Hillcrest Christian School for a number of years after the hospital, then moved to Los Robles Hospital. When they came here, my dad told my mom they would look at different churches in the area and come up with a church where they could call home. They went to one church, Calvary Missionary Church, and that's where they spent the rest of their lives. So this is it. It's not really any bigger than what it was, other than that building in the back now. Many years spent here. The parking lot's no bigger. Originally when we came, it had fold-down like theater seats, and they were wood, so every time somebody got up, it would make this loud noise. This was the church body in 1973 in our small little A-frame. There I am, and there's my little sister. The 60s was a great time at the church, very active youth group. My dad was the deacon, my mom was the deaconess. They were always on the church board. I think in 1974, they had changed the name to Calvary Community from Calvary Missionary. The church started to die in the early 70s. And in 75, the church had a make or break decision. My dad was on the board of the missionary church and would go back to Fort Wayne for the board meetings. The Lord laid on my father's heart that this community is growing. Thousand Oaks was still a very small community at the time. The explosion was coming in this area, and our church wouldn't support it. We didn't have the programs, we didn't have the leadership. The core team of folks at Calvary, they took it upon themselves to be looking for a new pastor to guide this environment. September of 1975, they made the call to Larry DeWitt, asking him if he'd come start a new rebirth of the existing church here in Thousand Oaks. My mom kept calendars every year and never threw out her calendars. October 23rd and 24th of 75, he stayed with Larry and Becky DeWitt. The DeWitts came out here October 30th to look around the area. January of 1976, on the 31st, the DeWitts arrived. They stayed with us through the month of February. Thousand Oaks had nothing to give him. They couldn't really guarantee him a salary. It's this A-frame church that doesn't seat very many people. They agreed to come out in the last week of October. It was the power of the Holy Spirit that made it happen, because it wouldn't have been my dad, it wouldn't have been my mom. You know, they were just used as instruments. Larry DeWitt comes out, fell in love with the community. They made the decision that weekend at my parents' home. So Larry and Becky put a deposit on a house that weekend. They were coming to California to a church with 30 people. They didn't know where their next paycheck was coming from, that they were giving up the stability to come to California and serve the Lord.
You called, and it was this very exciting call saying, we're from a church in California, and we wonder if you want to come and be our pastor. Well, we have about maybe 50 on a good day, okay. But that's how that started. And yet God in my heart said, don't turn that phone call off.
It was God working, because it sure wasn't us. I knew once you took a look and saw the beautiful Conejo Valley, you'd be hooked, and you were.
Growing up in Thousand Oaks with my parents was awesome. There was always room at the dinner table for one more. It was never a big deal. You'd move out of your room so a missionary could move in. You'd move out of your room because, a pastor was needing surgery. He did all of that for free. So needless to say, he treated a lot of pastors and missionaries over the years. It's not the building, it's the people. It's saving lives for Christ. I was going through my dad's teaching Bible. He wrote in there, it's all about Jesus on some of the passages. And that's what it is. It's all about Jesus, learning to live and love like Jesus. And he notated the year that he read that chapter. The years reading and documenting, writing in the margins. Pretty cool to see this and how devoted he was, what he read, what years he read it, and how it ministered to him. I love that those notations are in his Bible, focused on Jesus and living and loving like him. I don't know that Calvary would exist without my mom and dad. I love my parents. I miss them every day, still to this day, but I am blessed that they were in my life and raised me. And I know this community is blessed because they were a part of the community for so many years.